Welcome to Fit to Love, Movement Mondays, all about exercise, all about movement, all about you. Enjoy the show. Today's show brought to you by Fit to Love, how to get physically, emotionally, and spiritually fit to attract the love of your life. Get your copy today. Today's show, which cardio machine is best? So as I'm sure you've known, if this is not your first show with me, I don't like saying best. But everyone always asks that question. What's best? What's the best machine to use? Which is the best to burn calories? There are so many factors that go into determining that answer, and the answer is going to be different for so many people. What I want to do in the show for you today is just go over sort of the basics of some of the cardio equipment at the gym. So here we have an upright bike. There are two kinds of bikes, a recumbent bike and an upright bike. And there's a spin bike. There's more than two, but generally you're going to see recumbent bikes, which is where you're sitting back and your legs are in front of you. That's for people who are very out of shape or have very bad knee problems or back problems and are just getting started. A recumbent bike is not a piece of equipment that I think you'll be on very long if you actually start doing cardio, because you're going to get too strong for the machine. So an upright bike is the next step up from that, and an upright bike is a little harder because you actually have to balance your body weight on top of your pelvis versus sitting back in a seat. And your legs are right underneath you for an upright bike. The problem with an upright bike is that people often want to just read on the bike, and so they lean forward. So we're going to go over sort of the efficient way to do cardio in a later show, but for now I'm just going to give you the overview. So recumbent would be the easiest, upright bike would be the next. If there was a spin bike that wasn't in a classroom, that would be the next step up for bikes. I love spin bikes. I love spin bikes to have at home, spin bike classes, depending on your instructor, but always I love spin bikes. So next we have a Stairmaster. And a Stairmaster is a more advanced piece of equipment than a bike, than all the bikes actually, because of the motion. People would say it's more impact than the other rotation motion that you're making with your hips and with your legs. And because this is literally just up and down, it's very important that you understand how to position yourself on this piece of equipment. The next sort of easy piece of equipment would be a treadmill. Treadmills can be flat, you can go on an incline, which is definitely the progression you want to do, is to start with a flat bed and then slowly progress yourself up to an incline. The farther the incline, the more you're going to get glutes, the more you're going to have, your heart rate's going to get higher, and the more you're going to get out of it when you're just walking. When you start to run on a treadmill, you want to bring the incline back down because it's safer for your knees and for your hips over time, and your calves. So then we're going to come over here to the last piece of equipment in this gym that is probably my absolute favorite piece, which is an elliptical trainer. Why I love an elliptical trainer, and I would say it's more advanced than the bike, more advanced than a treadmill, because you are doing kind of a slide. It's a cross between a treadmill and a Stairmaster. It is better for your joints if you have any knee issues, but it is going to be harder than a treadmill and harder than a bike. A little easier than a Stairmaster, but depending on the path of motion and the degree of motion, a lot of machines have a different width, a different circle that they make. Some of them make a higher circle and some make a longer circle. So figure out which machine, if there's different brands, fits your body best. But I love elliptical for people with knee problems, back problems. You can go forwards, you can go backwards. So I think this is my favorite piece if you're in the intermediate to advanced level of cardio, besides maybe a spin bike. The Fit to Love podcast show offers you 6 days a week of helpful content to achieve the happy life you deserve. Movement Mondays and Tasty Tuesdays are weekly video casts, while Wellness Wednesdays, Thoughtful Thursdays, Freedom Fridays, and Sexy Saturdays are audio-only shows themed every week to address your holistic life and needs. If the show inspired you, we would love for you to share it and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us today. Head on over to fittolove.tv for recaps of every show, resources, and to join the community. That's FIT, the number 2, LOVE.tv. Have a fit and fabulous day.